Well, you won't get a lemon from Toyota of Orange.
Wrestling buddies want to be your buddy.
Drug-free's the way to be.
What do you think you're doing?
Well, Miss Musso, we were just doing a promo.
Welcome to Home Wrestling League.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Home Wrestling League. I am your host, Drew. We have another episode, sans Penny. Penny is in parts unknown. She's on assignment. We're just hoping we get her back. We haven't paid the ransom to get her back yet, so we're going to try to figure something out to hopefully get her home from parts unknown. But we are doing AEW 2025, and it is me, Drew, no gimmicks needed, Radley, and Crystal Crystal the Unicorn in the Crystal Casual at the Unicorn Station. And we have our guest today, good friend of mine, somebody who enjoys wrestling from other promotions that are not the big WWE. Really talented, funny person by the name of DameFresh. Dame, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, man. It is I, DameFresh. And yeah, I enjoy pretty much everything that's not WWE because, WWE is not good, man. And I'm sure they're going to talk about that parts of the pay-per-view that they put on. That kind of confirms what we all know. But, hey.
We recorded the episode yesterday, so yes.
Yeah. So, but shout out to Drew for being loyal to the machine, the Fed, even though the Fed sucks, But yeah, I enjoy AEW. Pretty much everything else besides WWE these days. So yeah, I'm happy to be here to talk wrestling with Crystal and Drew. So let's get into it, man. I thought the pay-per-view was pretty good, if I say so myself.
Yeah, before we start, we do things for guests here. We have to ask you, if you were a professional wrestler, what would your gimmick and name be?
My gimmick and name?
Yes.
My gimmick. When you say gimmick, what do you mean by gimmick? Because gimmick and name are kind of one and the same to me. So what do you mean by gimmick? Like, which? Because I'm thinking the first thing that came to my head. The first thing that came to my head when you asked me what my name was going to be, I'm like, the freshman. I'm the freshman, because I'm a freshman. I'm fresh, man.
I mean, that's perfect. That's perfect.
And that's my
behavior.
Tap simple. Now listen, this is grade A bullshit, but I'm gonna get this off anyway. I just walk around with hand sanitizer and bars of soap. Hey man,
There you go.
Yeah. It's just like, get away from me.
Bullshit, but it's great at bullshit, but that's what we're going with. Let's go. Why not?
That's hilarious.
That is awful. That is not making television. That is not in the main event title picture.
Oh no. You are forever stuck in that mid card, my friend.
Nah, they're gonna have me R-truthing it up. Why did they make that man come back to the company to they acted like they were gonna give him some type of something, and now they got him. Man, come on, man. Drew, man, like, what's up, man? Shout out.
I don't get it. I wish it was better, but here we are. And the second question. I wish
it was better.
Yeah. And the second question is, what would your theme song be?
Okay, so check this out, right? My theme song would be a song. I've thought of this before. Let me go confirm the title real fast. But I've actually thought of this before. It's a song by Balance and Composure. Nobody's gonna know this song, but I don't care. It's a song by Balance and Composure called. What is this song called? It's called Quake. It's a song by Balance and Composure called Quake. Yeah, that's my shit. Nobody's gonna know it, but it don't matter. What is that?
What type of genre is it?
It's like like one of them like 04, 05, 06 rock songs where it's like it's some shit that you would have heard on like a WWE promo package video, some shit. Yeah.
Is
Like it's one of them.
is when you're playing franchise mode in Madden and the song just comes up and
Shit is
you're like,
shit is when you playing WWE the video game and it's that music when you're going through the menus and shit. It's one of them. But it's like it got like a it has like a build up. It's like it builds up and it goes doom, 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 doom. Yeah, I'm coming out. I'm doing all my shit. The pyro. I'm throwing soap in the crowd. Freshen up, freshen up.
freshen up, freshen up. God damn it. This place stinks. That's your heel shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm here, right?
Yeah.
This
place
is the
stinks.
stinkiest town I've ever
been in. Musty.
They got my 3D my 3D whatchamacallit, and it's a big ass bubble. It's a soap bubble.
You got sponges with your face on them.
That is, hey man, listen, that merchandise, it'll work.
It's like, hey, you are not main event at WrestleMania, but god damn it, you with all the merch you're gonna sell, your knees ain't gonna be cracking when you're 40.
You know what's funny though? Now that I think about it, initially I thought like, man, this is not a main event gimmick. But you never know. Because who thought that rapper Cena, at first they thought he was a joke, man. And then you know what I'm saying? All you need is a nasty ass man to believe in you, and you can be the president of the United States.
I mean, shit, John Cena was storming on some chumps like it was thunder and lightning. Shout out to Cena, the god, platinum rapper John Cena.
Ruthless aggression, head ass. Why they do your dog like that? I didn't watch it. Why they do your dog like that?
We talk about it in the review that is after this episode. We're recording out of order, but this episode's coming out first. Then the next episodes are what happened on. It's gonna come out later this week. So we are in All Out 2025 in Toronto, Canada. The show starts off with Edge and Christian walking into the arena. I initially thought this was going to be the main event because they're like, it would only have made sense if this was the main event.
Because it's their hometown?
Yeah, but this was the opener. It's good tag team wrestling. Like, it's two of the best tag teams of all time, even though the other tag team is 50. And then FTR is still one of the best tag teams going.
Yeah.
For the past decade. So the thing I do like about FTR is that Stokely is a part of them, and he's such a good manager, and he knows what to do. And the fact that he's gotten over the fact that he said, "I get no hose," and now the crowd is chanting, "You get no hose," is hilarious to me. Where it's just everyone knows that person that can't get no hose, and it's Stokely.
Something that I thought about when you mentioned you thinking that would be the main event. Something that I thought about was the fact that no Jericho.
Oh yeah, no, he's done with that company
in Canada.
Yeah, he's done. He's done with that company. He's going to be showing up. He's going to be showing up to that Saudi Royal Rumble with those women looking like superheroes, and he's just going to be like, "Hey, everybody."
I will say, I think that AEW is better off, man. I felt like Jericho has been like dragging talent down for a good minute, so I wasn't mad at that. But like you said, getting back to the match, FTR has probably been the best tag team in wrestling for I don't know, for a good little minute now. And them working with there's a lot of irony or like it's just like a lot of subtext to the fact that away from the feud, Edge and Christian are like are heavy mentors for FTR. Like they're really good friends. So like
Yeah.
there's a lot of synergy inside the angle. Because like now, because I'm forced to like I gotta suspend my disbelief, and I'm forced to believe that these people hate each other, and that the angle at the end of the match where um you know the return, we haven't said it yet, but the return and everything, and I'm supposed to believe that they're really trying to do her something, but it's just dope. They're great. I got some criticisms. I do have a couple criticisms in the match,
Oh
but
yeah, no, it's saying now.
okay. Well, I didn't. The finish was weird. Like I appreciated the Cena shout out, and that
Hmm.
was cool, because Cena gave him a shot, he gave him one back. But then like I felt like then we went to Super Edge after that. Whereas like he's taking all of these finishers, and then I didn't even feel like that was a heavy spear that Cash caught in this 1, 2, 3. I'm like, okay, y'all just did like 15 finishes to him. He does one finisher and the match is over. It felt weird. And then like the ending angle, I don't mind what they were going for. I saw some criticism of that as well, like them
Hmm.
saying they're harkening back to like something that happened in the past where this same exact thing, it was like the same exact angle or whatever. I didn't
Yeah.
mind it, but I just thought that it was a little maybe the timing was off, or just like it just came across a little weird where her kissing him, saying "I love you" and then going to fight. As I feel like it would have been more badass for her to like knowing that they're there, her being like, "Yeah, I'm not running," and just fighting, or like giving like a wry smile or something and fighting, as opposed to, "Oh my God, I'm in peril. I'm gonna kiss you and sacrifice." It's just weird. Like you
It
don't have
wasn't.
that to do
You
because
didn't have the requisite time to set that up.
yeah, and they're not about to kill. One, I don't. FTR hasn't been presented the last when they first came to AEW. They were presented as like tough guys, like real, like oh these dudes would do bad
Top guys.
intentions, top guys that bad intentions though, like they'll really mess you up. As of late, it's been kind of jokey. So like I don't believe that like oh they're about to like really hurt her or something like it just didn't reek of, oh, I'm in real dire straits right now. Like I need somebody to save me.
Yeah.
But
Um.
I do appreciate that they sold for her though. When she started to throw punches, they really, really sold for her.
Yeah, that was something I wanted to talk about this weekend in wrestling. All the guys that had to sell for women sold for them, and I
Mm,
find that such a cool thing. Where back in the day, because back in the day when guys like more hated women, they were just like, "You are lucky to be here. I am not going to sell for you." And then
right.
you see the match with Punk and AJ and them over the later show, and then you see this, and they're both selling for Beth Phoenix / Copeland. Um, Another thing, when that theme song came on, it's so generic that the graphic is terrible. That when she came out, it says Beth Copeland. I'm like, who the fuck is Beth Copeland? And then when I saw, I'm like, oh, okay, Beth Phoenix, gotcha.
I just thought it was funny how nobody thought it would the reactions that I saw. Nobody expected it to be her. I kind of expected it to be her the entire time, because like maybe I just kind of followed the fact that they were pretty much waiting to use her. Like they were waiting for her, whatever situation she had to be over, and just waiting to use her. I knew she'd be in the company, so I did think it was a little weird that she came out like in full costume. No, like it would have. It's just some things that I feel like they missed the mark on, dog. It kind of took me out with her running out in full costume as opposed to like just being in some like casual shit and just going to fight. Like, why do you have on like all the eye makeup and all of it? It's like, where are we? Like, I mean, like it's just a little weird.
Yeah, it's like when people make weird run-ins. That's what that felt like. Um, and then the run-in that started it was Nick Wayne with the broken foot, with Mama Wayne looking like the fucking picture of mature on Pornhub, and
Oh
then
shit,
on the other side you have um uh
that's Kip
no
Sabian, right?
yeah, it's Kip
No, that's
Sabian.
That's something else. I'm a bugger. Wasn't it Kip with them?
Yeah, it was Kip, and then they just all attacked each other. And I don't know if that's going to set up for blood and guts,
That
but
makes sense.
I well we well I personally think this blood and guts should be the women, and it should not be the men.
So like Tekla, like
Yeah,
them,
yeah,
Tekla,
that's
Queen
the blood and guts match.
Aminata, Willow
Like,
Nightingale. Willow is a blood and guts all star at this point. She's like all NBA blood and guts. Like anything hardcore, you gotta have Willow Nightingale because the bunny's gone now. That was who it used to be. The bunny is not in the company no more. So Willow Nightingale pretty much is like first team
mhm,
all NBA hardcore match.
yeah,
Thunder Rosa being
Thunder Rose is still
heavily
there,
is she being like featured right now though?
of
That's the
course.
question.
Um,
Well, I mean they'll figure it out. She's like hardcore Jones too. Shout out to her.
yeah, it would be Willow, uh, Chris Stat. We'll talk about her later. It would be Mina Shirakawa, um, Aminata, and then the Goth Girls, um, and then the Megasis, and that's really about it. Like that's who would all be in that match. Like
Mhm.
unless if they wanted more of a buzz, they would just add Mercedes and Tony Storm. But like for those women would currently just be in that match.
I feel like if you do it, you kind of have to add Tony and Mercedes because, like, if we're
Yeah.
gonna be honest about it, when they launched Blood and Guts for the men, almost all of the main guys were in the match. Like, then
Hmm.
not all of them were in the. So yeah, you might be right about that.
Yeah. But solid match. It was a good way to start the ending storyline. I'm just whatever about because it happened in 2022. Extreme Rules with the Judgment Day. It's literally the same thing. So they're just repeating the same thing, but it's going to add to more stories, and I can't wait to see that. Next match is Big Bill versus Eddie Kingston. Um, the thing that's really interesting about this match is the fact that it's essentially about Big Bill saying that I'm the best wrestler in New York and I'm going to take that crown of best wrestler in New York. You're not better than me. I want to fight Eddie Kingston to see who the best wrestler in New York is. So obviously, this match should take place in Toronto. Um, Eddie Kingston. Uh, they talk about Eddie Kingston being in shape, but Eddie Kingston just looks like Eddie Kingston. It's like it's a thing where you're like, oh, I guess Eddie's in shape, and I'm like, for real? Oh, okay. Um, I just sure.
Yeah,
Um,
he's a
but
wrestler. That's why he's a wrestler.
yeah, but the match, I didn't really like the match. It's really slow. The guy, it's when somebody has a lot of ring rust, you can tell. And this is one of those
Mm.
situations where you're like, oh, okay, he just has a bunch of ring rust. And he also didn't hit his finisher. And this is why I like Daniel Bryan or Brian Danielson, because he he is the first one to call out some bullshit unannounced. Like he's just like, oh, it didn't hit him. The move didn't hit him. And you're like, oh,
So check this out. It wasn't Brian that called it out. It was actually Tony Schiavone, and he said he didn't make contact or something like that.
and
And I
then
think it
Brian was
was
the other
I think Brian tried to clean it up. I think Brian
gotcha.
tried to, or Brian and the other guy tried, whoever else it was, I don't remember who else it was. They tried to clean it up
Excalibur.
because as soon, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a huge Eddie Kingston fan, right? And I agree. The match was kind of dog shit. I'm gonna just be honest. The match was dog shit, but it was just his first match back. We've seen Eddie have great matches, so I'm not really worried about that. Um, but the match was bad. But it was less about having a great match and more about the fact that Eddie's returning. That's what it was really about. We got to get Eddie back on TV in a prominent way because you just lost three of the main guys. We have to fill in. It's gonna take more than just three guys to fill in for these guys that we just lost. So you got the returning Eddie Kingston. We got Beth that just popped up. They said some shit about Orange Cassidy having a match this week. And then we had some other returns as well. So the match was bad, but Eddie being back, I was hyped for that. But you're right. He missed. His finisher missed. And I'm not gonna lie. As soon as I saw the finisher miss, it's okay. That's okay.
Mhm.
We see that shit all the time. The fact that it was called, one, and then two, they went to the finish right after, I was like, oh, this is bad. Because the commentator called that the finisher missed, and then you went to the pinfall right after, which is like you told the audience that this move shouldn't have essentially worked. But they cleaned it up as best they could. It was like, oh, maybe it was a hit him, it was a glancing blow, hit him right on the chin or whatever. And it
Yeah.
is what it is. In the grand scheme of things, nobody's gonna care. We move on. Eddie got Eddie got bigger and better shit to do anyways. But all in all, I thought the match was kind of meh, but who cares?
Yeah.
I say this all the time when it comes to education. Eddie's one of my favorites. And when and if he ever wins the main title, I'm crying, dog. I'm gonna cry for Eddie, dog. Me and Eddie gonna cry in the ring together, dog. I'm crying. But yeah.
I love Eddie because he seems like one of the wrestlers that is just they have to be like, yo, so Eddie, wrestling's not real. He's like, yes, it is. Yes, it is. I believe it's real. It's like Eddie,
What you
you don't
talking
have to
about?
set it. Yeah, you don't have to set Chris Jericho on fire. Yeah, I do. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I have to
Dr. D. Schultz. You said it ain't real? That's an open hand slap, boy.
do. But match is over. Then Brian Keith and Big Bill attack Kingston, and lights go down, and then we see the Hook signal, and then Hook shows up uh, to save Eddie, and they will make the most New York tag team in the history of New York tag teams. I wrote in my notes, I hope their team name is just Dead Ass.
That ass is crazy.
Yeah,
Uh, I like the pairing. It makes sense. Like it does. It's not like forced at all. They make sense. And I feel like Eddie being paired with somebody is cool. Eddie being paired with somebody is cool. But I also think that he'll help Hook out in regards to this experience in terms of like being more comfortable on the mic. Because that's really Hook has the in ring stuff. It's just him feeling comfortable as a speaker. That's kind of
yeah,
like his weak point. And I do feel like that's something that can be learned because Brian Danielson was not a good talker for a large portion of his career, and then he's one of the best talkers we have in the business now. So
yeah,
it's something that can be learned. It's just experience and getting reps at it, and hopefully Eddie helps Hook to come out of his shell a bit to show a little bit more personality. But yeah, I'm not mad at the pairing.
yeah. It's good. It's good.
Did Crystal watch any of this shit?
No. Um,
Okay, I was like,
wait,
I
wait,
was like,
you
we
say,
didn't ask
Crystal?
Crystal. We didn't ask Crystal shit.
Like Crystal will give her opinion when it's when we see it fit. Like there be a moment where she'll interject, and
What? Excuse you.
When she sees fit, not when we see.
Exactly. Thank you. Someone in this fucking chat's a feminist.
Oh, Crystal,
Uh,
I love these hoes, so of course I'm a feminist.
what is wrong with you? No, like so I show up because I'll watch occasionally. I don't watch everything, but I really don't have the chops to break things down like everyone else does usually.
Oh,
So
good. I was just making sure, because
you're fine. Don't worry. I'll
we're
fill.
through two matches and we didn't ask your opinion, though. I was like, hey, this is getting a little. Hey, man.
No, I mean like it's
Women,
like
women, women.
this.
Booga, 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 booga.
It's like this with every show pretty much. I mean, I do say some more stuff if there's like bigger shows. I will talk a lot more like bigger things. I'll either watch some or I'll look some up on like YouTube later because I'm not about to sit through all that shit.
Right.
I
Like,
watch way
I'm
too
not
much
doing
wrestling
that.
on Saturday. Yes.
Yeah, I usually like if it's a big show, I usually watch some stuff on YouTube, like either while they're breaking it down and then I go, oh, okay, I see what you guys are talking about. Or I'll be honest with you, a lot of my contributions are she looked really cute when she was doing that. Or
Okay.
Yeah.
his outfit was nice. I liked it today.
Gotcha.
This is my casual contribution. I show up and I say, this person was hot.
Support is support.
Yeah, support. We got the next match, which is MJF versus Mark Briscoe in the tables and thumbtacks match. Everything that's been happening with tables and thumbtacks has been sort of interesting. Um, I really think it's funny that MJF's entire character is just a rich edgelord. And
What
now,
is edge? What is an edge lord? What is an edge lord?
An edge lord? Okay. Let me hold on. Let me
Here we
just
go. Here we go. There we go.
That's why I'm here. That's what I'm here for. Okay, so I know how to use it in context, but I don't have like a, nice little definition on hand. So I always consult, the internet's premier
Urban
place to
Dictionary.
find out this stuff. Yes, Urban Dictionary. So, okay. Actually, this is a very thorough explanation. So an edgelord, a poster on an internet forum, particularly 4chan, who expresses opinions which are either strongly nihilistic, quote, life has no meaning, unquote, or Tyler Durden's special snowflake speech from the film Fight Club being probably the two main examples, or contain references to Hitler, Nazism, fascism, or other taboo topics which are deliberately intended to shock or offend readers. The term edgelord is a noun, which came from the previous adjective edgy, which described the above behavior. And then the example they give you is Nietzsche was an edgelord before it was cool.
Okay.
Okay, I think I understand it.
Yeah,
I
they're just like
understand it.
they're just like, usually in my experience they're younger gentlemen who like to
They're
just
like agents. They're like agents of chaos, pretty much.
Yeah.
except they're not as cool.
Well, in this case, MJF would be a cool one though.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
usually edgelord is kind of like, ooh, like you're saying crazy things. It's like, wow, you're deliberately trying. It's kind of called edgelordy because it's like they're trying to provoke you versus being actually provoking, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, that's what we're dealing with here. But yeah, usually it's not as cool as the MJF guy, I think.
Which is funny because I don't know if you've watched the news in the past 2 weeks. Being an edgelord does not really work in people's favor. So I find it hilarious that he is the number one edgelord currently, and it's been a terrible week for uh, edgelords unless you have a funeral that has unnecessary pyro. But anyway, the
Holy shit.
uh, so MJF's old reliable in the entire feud is your brother's dead. You know that, right? That's what his whole thing is. Just like you got a dead brother, boom, and that just started everything pretty much. I'm glad that uh, there's thumbtacks in this match because the whole crux of the match is this guy who's been an asshole for so long needs to go through these thumbtacks. And everybody in the crowd was waiting for it because the night before, um, he wrestled in CMLL in Mexico. This incredible match with Mystico for the championship for CMLL. And yeah, it's just funny that he just went from Mexico to Canada in a day and was just like, I'm losing in both of these. The match was pretty fun. Anytime somebody wears white, they gotta bleed. So he was bleeding, and he was bleeding on his leg. So the common joke was, "Oh, he's got a period."
Yeah,
So
really. It looked like it definitely looked like the that that area. So I agree. It did look that way. And MJF is one of the best in the world, man. Like at this point, he just does wrestling right. Like he's a heel, and his I guess you say kayfabe. He plays the gimmick real well, but he knows how to like play the gimmick to where he can still be real about shit. The he told that one that one person on Twitter, you can die. You can go kill yourself. Free speech or whatever he said because they said something crazy to the black dude. The black dude on Twitter, he wasn't going for that. And then he's an asshole, right? So like he get into these feuds where it's like he does, like I said, he does wrestling right. For all intents and purposes, in the CMLL match, which is people are saying arguably the match of the year, incredible match. Built that entire feud by being borderline in wrestling terms, borderline racist or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's wrestling. It's wrestling with intention, right? And in wrestling, the racist gets comeuppance. So he
Yeah.
lost that match like he's supposed to. That's what and he's better for it. He's better off for it. It's not he's not defined down because he lost a match. Who did he wrestle?
He wrestled Mystico.
Mystico. There you go. And he's not defined down because he lost a match to Mystico. And then in this match with the Briscoe brother, Mark Briscoe. Mark, right? It's Mark.
Yeah.
Mark Briscoe. He, like you said, if you're what you're using to build out the feud is your brother's dead, your brother's dead, your brother's dead, you have to lose the match. You have to lose. There's no way you can't Booker T this thing when Triple H is calling him for all intents and purposes. Triple H called him a nigger to build the feud.
Yeah.
You a nigga, you a
ended up
nigga with
winning.
your nappy hair, you dancing, go ahead dance for me, boy. And he lost. Booker T lost the match after somebody was racist towards him. That is not how wrestling is done. You
Oh
don't
no.
you don't undress your baby face that way and not let them. If you build the match that way throughout the build, that person has to win the match. It's just how it works. So they
Yeah.
had the match that they had. They had the match that they had. It was a great to me. For him to do that back to back, it was a great match. He lost, and I feel
Mhm.
like I don't know what's next for him. I don't know. That's another thing that's so dope about the MJF character. It's like you really don't know what obviously he's going to be featured, and eventually he's going to be back in the title picture. He's probably going to win the title again. But at this
Mhm.
point, you don't really know what's coming next for him, and that's the beauty of AEW. You really don't know what's going to happen with anybody.
Yeah. Like it makes for more interesting TV because if you don't know what's going to go on next, you want to watch it to see what's going on.
Yeah.
So
But what were you gonna say, Crystal?
I just have a question. So I guess because Dame has already told us he does not really watch WWE because it's not that great. Do you feel like you're saying with AEW, like you really don't know what's going to happen, but do you feel like you can really predict WWE? Because Drew pretty much does half the time.
Well, I'll say this. I'm not going to be bad faith. You can predict AEW too.
Oh,
You can predict if you watch wrestling enough, you'll be
right,
able to predict wrestling no matter what. But
right. Like
oh, go ahead.
I was it's like I've told you guys, like with writing, you read enough scripts, you watch enough TV, you watch enough movies. There are just certain beats that we all as
Yeah,
human beings.
yeah.
And the same
It's
thing with
formulaic in that way. It's
yeah, I
formulaic in that way.
mean, for sure. And wrestling is like that too, because we've talked about this here, but not with you here. But I've always, I was never really big in wrestling. Like I knew what it was growing up. Obviously, everyone knew who, unfortunately, Hulk Hogan was. We all knew who he was, Macho Man, all those people.
Yeah,
But like I didn't really get into it at all until like way later in life. And then I was like, oh, even if I didn't like this as a kid, I understand it very much as a storytelling medium because it very much is like this sort of almost like a soap opera that everybody can relate to someone in. It's not just, geared towards women or geared towards men. It's like, the entire duality of man situation. You know what I mean?
right.
Everybody,
So
good guys and bad guys. And like you said, you can't just have a bad guy be a bad guy and get away with it. That's not how it works.
yeah, that's not the story. The reality of it is that's not the story that people want to see. It's
Yep.
it's just that's a horrible payoff. Like the payoff is supposed to you build something to a point, and that's the formula of wrestling. You build something to a point, you build somebody up for them to lose, and then you basically do the same thing all over again. But in regards to like predictability, AW is formulaic. In regards to like their week to week television, um, it's not as predictable as WWE. In WWE, for the longest time, some guys just they're never going to lose. They're not
Right.
going, and they're for damn sure not going to lose on television. And to
Right.
make sure that they don't lose on television, it's going to be a bunch of fuck finishes where somebody interferes or there's a run in or some type of something to make it to where that person ain't losing. To the point where it's like, hey man, you might as well just beat these people if you're gonna keep on doing this stupid. But that's that, right? In AEW, I'll say this: it's formulaic, but you are you're more liable to see a title change on television in AEW than you will ever see on WWE. And a lot of times because the way that there's no in AEW, there's no one guy who is heralded above everybody else. To where it's like there's just one person at the top and everybody else is beneath them. To where that one person is just gonna destroy everybody else. In AEW, there are guys that are all on the same level with each other, to where now when you get these people in these matches, you really have no idea who's gonna win.
Right.
Unless it's a situation where, let's say, the person just won the title, you're not gonna beat them in their first title defense. Cool. But maybe it's a non-title match. You don't know who's gonna win. And that's always more intrigue. Like
Of course.
Statlander, we haven't talked about it yet, but Statlander won the title in the pay-per-view. That shit was nobody saw that coming, and
No.
maybe there's some criticism for, and maybe you should have built that up better to, for the payoff, because that goes back to our payoff discussion. There wasn't really much of a payoff, even though they've been building Statlander up to be a credible challenger for either Mercedes or Tony the entire time. But the predictability, that's one facet of wrestling. So where it's like, hey man, this shit is, why am I watching something when I know pretty much how I watch a WWE match, I can tell you how the whole shit's gonna go, from the in-ring to how the match is gonna end, what's gonna cause it to happen, why it's gonna happen, because they just don't feel like they have to do anything outside of the box. AEW gonna get unique in ring, right? They're gonna do things that you probably never seen before, and
Yeah.
you just there's a chance for different things to happen because you just don't know like where they're gonna go with it. Like what with MJF. MJF is a bigger name than Mystico, and he's a bigger name than Mark Briscoe. The reality of it, in WWE, MJF would have never lost to those people. He would have never lost matches to those people. But in AEW, because of how the creative works there, in MJF, knowing that he's fixed into whatever creative plans that they have going forward, he doesn't have to worry about losing those matches. He doesn't have to worry about protecting his spot, because he knows that he will be featured in the right way, and he's going to have good creative going forward. So he can lose matches. Like that would never happen. You would never see Roman Reigns or somebody on that level, or Cody Rhodes or whoever else, losing matches like that. Like Randy Orton should have lost to at WrestleMania. He should have lost to that kid. What's that kid's name, Drew?
Or Henry.
He should have lost that match. It doesn't. Randy Orton is Teflon. It doesn't hurt him to lose that match. And you would have made Joe Hendry on the spot. AEW would have did some shit like that. WWE's never doing it. They're just never doing it. So it's kind of like that.
But the match is okay. Briscoe finally got his win because he's been losing all the matches to MJF, and he finally got his win. So we don't know what's next for MJF, but it's good. Let's see. Next match, we got the Demand, aka the long-haired dudes and Ricochet against the Hurt Syndicate. As a person who is petty, I understand Ricochet, the entire part of this beef, where people humiliate you on a public forum and you have to get your lick back. So shout out to Ricochet for making my petty dreams come true. Besides Io Sky's theme in WWE land, the Hurt Syndicate's got the best theme in professional wrestling right now.
We are people. We
heard people.
We
heard people.
You know how often I have to hear that? Do you know how often I have to hear that?
We heard people. We heard people. Yeah, it's incredible. The match is essentially, let's beat up MVP and then try to pin him and win the match, which is a great strategy, and that's how the match really was.
Great psychology too. Great psychology because of how MVP played it. MVP, for as old as he is, his storytelling in this was really, really good. Because when he fired up and he beat ass, it's like, okay, I know the structure of wrestling to this point. I was like, okay, they're letting you do that because you're eating this pin. Like that's the reason why they're giving you all these high points where you beating ass like this. But like you said, that's that's really great storytelling. And
Hmm.
at this point, it almost kind of like informs the Hurt Syndicate kind of needing to go out and get a young guy to fill in for MVP and just let MVP be the mouthpiece because clearly
Yeah.
he ain't got it in the ring no more. But in my notes I wrote Ricochet is it's so crazy how they just refuse to present Ricochet as anything in WWE, and he goes to AEW and he is immediately better. Like I
Hmm.
mean, it probably took he was a little corny up until he had the real heel turn, and he kind of but immediately everything about him is so much more believable. It just clicks instead of him being like this this white meat baby face that nobody believes in because he has no edge to him, even though he's one of the most talented performers that's probably ever existed in the business. And then
Oh yeah.
Shelton Benjamin is still great, like still all time great.
Yeah. The man's got the fountain of youth. Like it's incredible. Um, I really did. I really did enjoy this, and yeah, you are right about getting a new Hurt Syndicate member. I'm on. I'm on. I personally think it should be Queen Aminata, but that would look cool. But they have to go get African American wrestler to make this work. They've already had a white guy and he fucked it up. So uh, next,
That was always news to a ninja.
yeah, next match we have Mercedes Monet against Riho. Um, it's weird. Anytime Riho comes out, I smile a little bit. I'm like, she's a lovely girl. Like every time,
Rio's dope, man. Rio's dope.
just that really Japanese um, techno song that it's just like really sped up where you're like, oh Rio, and then she's like, hi everybody, I'm Rio. I'm like, oh, you're adorable. Um, the one of the things I do like about Mercedes is every feud is her hating her opponent with a million fucking suns, and so now her doing that to Riho, I'm like, why do you hate Riho so much? Like she just comes out here, wrestles, smiles, and has a good time. And the thing that really made her pissed off was her doing the money dance, and
Yeah, and
Mercedes is just like, ah!
Rio, Rio got all hippie. I was like, hold on, let me find out. Rio with all them hips and all of a sudden doing the money dance. Hold on. Uh, hold on, Rio. But yeah, I I thought the match was great. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought the in ring was great. They worked both ladies. You know how I feel. I feel like Mercedes is the GOAT. Um, she is a GOAT. And she is the GOAT. I felt like the match was really good. I just thought the crowd didn't give them anything. And unfortunately, how
Yeah,
wrestling is very similar to battle rap. You can be saying the best shit in a rap battle. If the crowd doesn't react to you, your bars are not going to come across the proper way. You need a crowd. The battle rap and wrestling are two things that are predicated on crowd reaction. You need to do big impactful things in the ring and in both rings, and you need the crowd to respond the right way to make the performance come together totally. And I felt like the women worked hard. It's just the crowd wasn't there for them. So like it could have been a classic match if they had a hot crowd for that match, but unfortunately they didn't. But yeah, Mercedes is great. Rio's been great. Oh, she's been great for a while, and I thought they worked really well together. The work was sharp. I really like Rio doing the single leg crab. Oh my god, like that shit looked really painful, dog. I was like, god damn, like for as much as people used to give Rio shit for her lack of believability because she's so small, yeah, that shit from a technical perspective, it's like, bruh, you could be as small as you want, and somebody is like trying to jar your limbs out of place and shit like that. It's gonna hurt. And I also like
yeah.
Mercedes working a smaller person because now
It's
she
the
gets
first
to
time
like
she's looked
do
like powerful.
Yeah, she gets to do power moves and shit.
It's like,
So so I just looked up. I'm assuming that's what it is. Was Mercedes wearing all red with a red wig and like a off the shoulder red thing?
yeah,
Was she talking with the announcer guys?
yeah.
Okay,
During that
so
match, yeah.
see, this is where I come in because I literally am just here like with vibes that I see. Uh, Rio is adorable. I just saw her with her leather jacket and her cute little dress, the tough yet girly look.
hmm
Way she was in there like all happy and waving, and she has Mercedes sitting
Like,
in.
I'm gonna kill her.
No, she's sitting in that chair like a fucking Bond villain, looking like she hates her so much. And you're right. How do you hate that girl?
It's like I am angry about something, and I'm
No,
taking it out on her.
and I saw an older one. I looked at an older one. It wasn't. Maybe it was this one. I don't know. It was Rio and Alex Windsor
hmm
one.
No, that's an older
Uh,
one.
there's the
That's
older
an
one.
older one. Okay, even in the older one, as soon as Mercedes hears her music, she screams. She's
Fuck,
like
no. Ah!
literally she does that. She literally does that like you expect her to be like on her knees in the pouring rain screaming.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like Elmo and Rocco.
Yes, yes. Elmo hates Rocco. Exactly.
If I catch this
It's
motherfucker on the
still
street, I'm gonna kill her.
it's still real to me, damn it. And while we here, hey man, what Mercedes been eating?
Oh, good. That's what she's been eating.
Yeah, a little bit more cheeky than I'm used to. Like, oh,
I'm not
oh.
see, I'm on the show as the person where it's like I'm just like, he's hot, she's hot. Like I have all these opinions on who's hot. She's one of them for sure.
Yeah, she's a Mercedes. Mercedes throughout her entire career, she's been a little. I mean, she's been a little thinner than she is today. It was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean that's why she looks like she could sell. So I mean, she sells very well because you could throw her around and she can take a beating. So now she has a little bit more
Pause.
muscle. No pause. Um,
No pause here, okay? We don't pause here. No, that's a lie. We do that all the time.
yeah, Crystal does it more than I do. But I'm just
What? No, I
saying,
don't. Lies. These are
Crystal
lies.
does more than I do. But speaking of thick men,
Oh
thick
wow.
people, the next match is Okada versus Lince Dorado, or Masquerita Serrata. And
They said that kid's 23 years. They say he's 23 years old, man.
oh, yo, he's impressive. And Tanosuke Takeshita. Um, I love this match because it is a very soft. It's the type of match where you're like, well, I think this is going to be the bathroom break, and then you watch it and you're like, fuck, this match rules. Um, the thing I loved is uh, Tanosuke Takeshita didn't want to win the match against Dorada. He wanted to beat Okada. So like he had the match won, and he's just like, "Where the fuck is Okada? I'm pinning him." And like as a professional hater, we've already had the executive hater here, but as a professional hater myself, I love that. Where it's just like, I don't want to win with him. I want to win against him. And you have a match won, and you're like, "Fuck all that. Let's go." Um, they're hitting each other fucking hard, and you forget that this is not Japan, but it's two Japanese wrestlers going at it. And, Matt Dorada is also there too. So, what did you think of the match, Dan?
Yeah, I thought the match was great, man. We've kind of we've been waiting for Takeshita, and we kind of knew that Takeshita and Okada. That's like the end game for this, like pretty much. But I would like most people said. How do you say his name? Mascara Dorada. How you say it?
Yeah, I'll fuck it up, but just say Dorada.
Dorada. Yeah, he was the standout. It's kind of like they let him shine. To be honest, he had that the moonsault thing where he does the one moonsault. He tried to land it and Takeshita moved out the way. He landed it on Okada, and then when he does some shit to Takeshita, and then he does another moonsault. The how quick he did that shot. I was like, oh, holy shit, okay. You're one of them. And then I saw they said that he was pretty young, man. I was like, wow, he's very impressive to be his age. And not pretty much all I thought was like the match was good. I mean, the match was great to be honest. But it's like, okay, so when do we get to okay? Because Takeshita has to take the title off you. Like that is
Yeah,
the in that's they build like we said. If anything, uh, Crystal, in terms of predictability, at least AEW gives you the shit that you're supposed to get. Like, oh, you kind of know it's about to happen, but instead of them like doing some shit that you didn't want, they'll actually give you the things that you're supposed to get. And
Right.
Takeshita's supposed to beat Okada for this title. So I see a lot of
yeah,
people saying that it should happen in the Tokyo Dome. That's where
Mm.
that match should happen. Like it should happen in the Tokyo Dome to ensure that you are going to get the reactions that you deserve. Because this
Right.
crowd, man, it was a great show, but this crowd was not incredible. They gave, I'm not gonna lie, they gave Hangman and Kyle Fletcher, they gave them a lot of energy, but they were not consistent throughout. It was for the type of card that they got, it was not a hot crowd the entire time.
yeah. And like that's the risk that you run when you have these practically all day pay-per-views.
Well, yeah,
Like you're gonna have dips
like,
and lulls.
you're gonna have like a lag in energy. But to what Dane said, like I agree. You have to give people what they sort of expect. And I know people think that's like the opposite of what you should do with storytelling, but really it isn't. You always have to give people something they know already and they can predict because it's going to give them the feeling they came there for. So if they want to see an underdog beat, the guy who everyone thinks is going to win, they want to see that. If they want to see the good guy triumph over the bad guy, they want to see that. If they want to see the anti-hero kind of, maybe get a little further than he should have, they want to see that. So yeah, it's like people always like act like you shouldn't be able to predict a story or it shouldn't always be the same, but it always has to be the same beat told with a slightly different rhythm. That's how it has to.
Yeah, yeah. So like the best example I give for this is uh they were in WCW in the past, they were building to Sting taking the title off of Hulk Hogan. That's what they were building to. The 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 connected pieces to that, and it's kind of what's been connected here, is Okada and Takeshita have been having like a silent battle the entire time Okada's been with the Don Callis family. They give each other dirty looks, all of this stuff. It's pretty much like the Okada is the the
Ace.
preeminent, yeah, the ace, the preeminent Japanese wrestler, and Takeshita is the heir apparent.
Hmm.
It's it's a story that writes itself. And what happened in WCW is they did all of this creative around Sting eventually taking this title off Hulk Hogan. For weeks and months, you build into this one match. You build to this one match. So, you have him running in and beating people up and chasing them. Eventually, you book the match. And Sting's supposed to take the belt off Hulk Hogan. You know what the problem is, Crystal? The day of the pay per view, Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan change their minds and they do this fuck finish to where did he win? Did he really win the title? And it fucked all of the momentum up. And
Mm.
WCW actually never recovered from that. So in
Yeah,
that sense, you build to a situation where this guy's supposed to win this match clean, and you didn't give that to the people. And the people, that's what everybody was waiting for. It's the same thing with here. It's like, okay, we know eventually it has to be Takeshita and Okada. And
yeah,
I trust AEW to do that, and I trust Okada to to take the loss. He's not going like him. That's just kind of how they do things. So yeah, but like Drew said, I thought it was a great match, man. I thought it was a great match, and hopefully Kenny gets healthy, and we can have Okada whenever Okada finally gets the main title. We can have Okada and Omega at the top of the card like it's supposed to be for the main belt. You know,
yeah. It
hopefully
would
it
it would
happens.
be it's something like that. Their other match is fine, but you want to see them end the night, like both of those guys, because of what
Exactly,
they're about to
exactly.
do.
With all of the momentum being built, like like you said, if you get a crowd that's not going to be hot all the way throughout, and they just
Hmm.
hold conservative energy for the main event, because like I said, they gave Kyle and Hangman, they gave them the energy.
Yeah,
They gave them the energy for sure.
Oh, we'll definitely talk about that. But moving on, we got to move on. Darby versus John Moxley. Um, Darby Allin versus John Moxley. Uh, so last year, when the decision was made for John Moxley to beat Darby in the match to take away his number one contender spot, I'm just like, oh man, Darby's definitely going to beat Moxley for the belt. And then when that didn't happen, I'm like, now he kind of looks like a doofus because Darby Darby went to go climb Mount Everest and shit. Shout out to him for coming back alive. He was talking about how many dead bodies he saw on the way to Mount Everest because people just die on that track and they're like, well, here I am. Boom. I'm fucking dead. And uh, yeah, I think they say there's at least 200 to 300 dead bodies on the route to Everest because people just die of exhaustion and all that other shit climbing that thing. So Darby Allin cutting a promo from the top of Mount Everest is pretty cool for All In. And then this leads to a match where Darby's been trying to murder John Moxley. So he could be one of those bodies on Mount Everest, which I respect. Like the hater in me really respects that. One of my favorite things in a match is when two people hate each other. When one guy makes their entrance, the other guy is attacking them as they make their entrance, and that's how that starts. We didn't get the Darby song. Darby just fucking goes at him like "fuck you," and I'm like, "Yes, thank you." An actual blood feud, thank you. Um, but the match is chaotic as shit, and it only gets crazier as it's going on. And then Moxley tells them to go to the back because Moxley wants to do this by himself. And you know, with the Death Riders, the white supremacist Death Riders, that they don't do it by themselves. Um, One of the funniest shots I've seen in a wrestling match is when Moxley is setting up that coffin because it's a coffin match. He sets it up, turns around, and then Darby off screen just comes out of nowhere and then just runs into John Moxley into the coffin. Like you couldn't dream of a better timing than that. Like that was incredible shit. Yeah, that suicide dive was really good. The match happens and everybody's in the back and Darby was getting too much shit in. And I'm like, who's gonna come and stop this match? And then coming back with the worst haircut known to man is Pac. And you realize that, damn, you have a massive fucking head for such a little person. I think that's the problem. That's why that haircut is terrible.
You also, you know what else? He had on clothes.
I know. That was weird.
Pac had on clothes, man. He had on clothes. When the last time we seen Pac without just underwear and some boots and some armbands? He had on clothes, man.
It's been a minute.
It's like
he
holy
didn't even
shit.
come back for All Out or All In. Like that's how crazy.
That's also something that's crazy too. When it's so jarring to see somebody with clothes on, like oh my god, you have on a shirt. But not you know something that I find really ironic is how the Death Riders have essentially saved their presentation. Like it went from something that people were saying had kind of like go away heat, they didn't want to see it anymore, to where like they've kind of finagled it, finessed it, and I feel like a big contributor to that was, if I'm not mistaken, their feud. Didn't they have a feud with Swerve, right?
Yeah.
The feud with Swerve, and then after that, the feud with Hangman kind of got it back on track. I feel like it kind of set them. Who were they feuding with that it made it drag? It was Edge, wasn't it Edge?
Yeah, that's what killed
that's
it.
That's where they kind of lost the plot a little bit. But I do feel like they got back on track, and I feel like it's working again. Like their presentation is working again. Mox is one of the best in the business in regards to like believability and just giving you something quality every time he's on screen. Darby, I don't know. Darby's a confusing talent in regards to Like, what is his purpose? Because like at this point, what you said is true, Drew. You don't want to be champion. So like, why are you doing? Like, what are you here for? Like, it's
Yeah,
just it's a little. You just want to fuck people up. He takes
he's
some of
running
the
to him
most
really fast. And
insane.
fuck.
Yeah, he takes some of the most insane shit. Like the mist coffin drop onto the
Mhm.
coffin. It's like, God damn, bro. Like, But shout out, Pac, and the angle they take him out the ring. He loses. He loses, right? They take him out the ring, and then it's that's a little weird how they did that. Where he told them, "Y'all leave," and then he gets out and he sets him on fire. like,
Yeah. Oh no,
like,
we'll get to that later.
bro, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's in the notes. We'll get to that later. But he loses the match. He gets carried out like the Undertaker druids, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I guess Darby's not gonna get his win back. Whatever, fine. And like you said, like he just doesn't want to win, so he just exists. Now he's just exists just to fuck with the white supremacists. Um, Next on the card is the women's four-way between timeless Tony Storm. Uh,
How do you
was
feel
it?
about the crowd for this match?
I think they started to come alive, but when the ending happened, that's when they're like, "Oh fuck, okay, awesome." Um,
Yeah, yeah, I
I
agree.
I really do like their storytelling where Yuta comes out, gives Stat uh, some pointers, and then that was the moment where I kind of
Bruh,
figured I'm like,
I saw that
he
shit. I
might
said
win
the
this.
same thing. But when it's the fucking finish though. That's where all of that's Orange Cassidy, dog. That is OC. Like that is their whole like best friends thing. And to me, that's when wrestling is really fucking cool. Like
Yeah,
her using that pinning combination to get the W, I was like, oh, this is tight. And obviously, a lot of people might not know because they don't follow the nuances and stuff like that. But I noticed that right away. I was like, oh shit, she's doing this. She's doing this. Like,
it's like the seatbelt. Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, the seatbelt.
uh,
So I need you guys to know that I'm watching this right now, the highlights from it.
mhm.
Um, Costumes look great. I really like everyone's look. But also, did you say one of these people was named like Yuta?
Yeah,
Yuta's a guy. Yuta's the guy.
No, but okay, so it's Yuda, yes?
Yuta.
Yuta, okay. Because
yeah.
in the notes I'm like, Yoda. I'm like, who's Yoda?
Who's Yoda is funny.
Yeah, I was using
I was like,
voice
no, I
to
know that's what, but I'm like, is he calling someone like knowledgeable and that's why he's calling him Yoda? I was very
That
confused.
is funny.
But I
That's
had to
funny.
think, I had to think about it. I was like, what's going on? Oh, and I'm watching Tony Storm pull up that girl in the purple for her leg.
use
Tony
seatbelt.
Storm. Tony Storm's makeup for this match. It really informed her acting after the finish. I
She's
was like,
doing
you look good.
she's doing some crazy stuff with her character work. Like she's fucking committed to the bit.
Oh, of course.
Like everything about her look, everything about the way she talks, like it's oh my god, this sparkly gray thing that's supposed to look like a strapless dress or like a strapless like bodysuit is crazy. But like, so what did she look like after the match? Because obviously they're not showing me this. This is just the highlights. What is
It's really rooted in the finish, right? So like
Mm.
nobody thought you do a fatal. It was a fatal four way, right? Or
Yeah,
a four way, or whatever they call it. Fatal four way is the WWE terminology, but whatever the fuck they call it. They do a four way match, and you, you do a four way. Nobody thinks that Tony Storm is about to lose her title in a four way match. Tony
right?
yeah.
has Tony set the record for the longest title reign or whatever. How that normally works? You build to a one-on-one match, and that's how the person beats Tony Storm. But in this match, not only did Chris Statlander win the match, she didn't even win the match off a finishing move, Crystal. She won the match off of doing a pinning combination. So she did this pin, the pin called the seatbelt, which is it goes back to what me and Drew were talking about with the storytelling. It's a pinning maneuver that the best friends do. Like Willa Yuta does it, Orange Cassidy does it, and Chris Statlander won the match very abruptly with that pin. And what happens is the makeup that Tony has on, when she loses, the shock on her face, she looks like her brain just broke. She looks crazy. So it's gonna be
Crystal,
another descent into madness.
her makeup makes her look like a marionette. That's all you need to know. And it's just a
Okay, so
marionette.
I could see it from a distance. It's a big, bright red lip and very heavy, big lashes. Yes.
Yeah. And like she's just so shocked, like, this happened to me. I can't
Right.
believe this happened to me.
So what I'm getting is that like the writing for this is a little bit better in that it does unexpected things in familiar ways.
Yes.
Makes sense. Okay.
That's a very good summary.
Yeah, the match is great. Like I enjoyed it. There's a part in it where Tekla's doing her spider walk, and then you see Tony Storm like get into the ring as she's doing her spider walk, and then immediately stomps Tekla in the crotch.
I'm gonna freeze frame. I just froze because it makes me laugh. I think it's who's the one with the red hair and like the silvery futuristic looking outfit.
That's Tekla.
So it's
Tekla.
And the girl in the red, not Tony Storm, but the other girl in the red with blonde, with the white boots.
Blonde, white boots.
Is that Hater? That's not Hater.
What is she dressed in? Vertical stripes?
Vertical stripes, is that Hater?
Yeah.
Red hair, and then the blonde with the red outfit, who's not Tony Storm, is Tekla.
Statlander. That's Statlander. Statlander is the white girl. Jamie Hayter is brunette. If I'm not. No, that. Okay.
Jamie Hayter's a redhead.
That's what I was about to say. Jamie Hayter is the redhead. Tekla's white. Drew, Tekla's white.
Yeah. I said they're all white.
Is Tekla the one wearing the strappy?
I did not know that Tekla was white. The fuck?
So Tekla is the one wearing the strappy red combo, yes?
Yeah.
So it's Tekla and Hater. They're on the floor and they are both arms out, legs out, just like, It's really funny because it's part of the highlights. And they're like, check these girls out. They just got kicked out of the ring.
Yeah, because
Tekla is white. I thought Tekla was Japanese.
No, she just wrestled for Stardom for such a long time. And it's funny because like when I was in Vegas, I went to the Stardom show and I saw her, and that was the first time I'd watched Stardom in a minute because Julia left, and I'm like, oh that's right, Tekla.
That's what Julia got me thinking. All of these people Japanese because Julia didn't look like Japanese, and she's Japanese too. So
I am looking at
Julia is Japanese and Italian. That's why she looks the way she does.
Half. But I'm saying I'm looking at Tekla right now, and I could see why you might think she could be half Japanese or Japanese. I'm not.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I can see it, and sometimes I think people who have maybe a lot of Eastern European background, they can appear that way because if you go to certain parts of Europe, it's I don't know if this is the correct term or not, but it's Europe and Asia. A lot of the times it's called Eurasian. They have, they may be speaking Russian, but you're like, oh, I thought you were not Russian.
Yeah, Tekla is Austrian.
Okay, there's a chance there may be some other, but yeah, I can see why you would think that just by looking at her, like when she's not sweaty and being thrown everywhere. She has a great look. By the way, I'm looking at this picture of her. I'm like, Jesus Christ, they know what they're doing with you.
Yeah, I think she was in a punk band, and then she's an artist too. Like she's a painter. She's a painter. Like she does a lot of shit where you're like, oh, okay.
I see the punk band with this outfit she's got on. A lot of the black and the red and the silver and spikes, the bigger like stuff going up on her shoulders, the side hair where it's like, not really a side shade, but it looks like one because she gets it braided down.
She's trained by Io's older sister. That's interesting. But no,
yeah, the older sister that disowned Io.
I'll say, Tekla. I gotta say, man, Tekla. She came right in. Her presentation has been it's like one of the most seamless transitions for somebody coming into AEW. And now she's being featured in these pay-per-view matches. Like it works. Her entire thing works. But yeah, Statlander winning like that, nobody saw that coming, man. That was a shock. That was a big shot.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm seeing Tony Storm's makeup now. I see what you guys say. Yes, she does look a marionette.
It's just like,
Shocking.
what? How does this happen to me?
No,
Um,
yeah, it's making her look ultra crazy because she's got the lips that are more doll-like than normal, and like the white face and the big eyes. Okay, I see what you're saying now. That was a
and,
good. She's making all the right choices when it comes to her story.
but yeah, it was a good match. And then you see Statlander celebrate, and Tony is just like, what the fuck happened? Like, she's still in a daze that she lost this match, even though she was like, she's like, I could have won this. Very good stuff. Um, Going to the four-way ladder match. There's two four-way matches after another between Brody King and Bandito, aka Brodito. You have the Young Bucks. You have Josh Alexander and Hechizero, like Don Callis says, and then you have Jet Speed, which is Mike Speedball Mike Bailey and I'm blanking on the kid's name.
Kevin Knight. Was
Kevin
that
Knight.
Kevin Knight?
Yeah. Who both come out in like dressed up like Sonic and Tails, which is pretty funny. Um, this match is insane, and this match is hilarious because this is what I was talking about with Daniel Bryan. Like Daniel or Bryan Danielson, he's basically like, why are they doing all of these moves? Go win the like
Yeah,
everybody's setting
go
up a
in the
lap,
ring. Get in the ring. I think
get
I
in the
think they should
ring,
be in the ring.
win the belt. Just do that. And as it's going on, and as the crazier these spots are getting, you're just like, Jesus. Like this is the type of match where all of these guys are going to be using ibuprofen after to get rid of their pain. I mean, I don't know if you read or seen today, the government basically said, "Hey, Tylenol causes autism, so don't do Tylenol." Or
Sigh.
No, acetaminophen.
yeah, Tylenol.
Nobody could they couldn't say it right like 5 times in a row.
Oh God, I didn't see that. It makes me sadder.
Yeah,
Um,
it's good times.
so the match is cool. It rules. There's just so many spots that you're just like, God damn, okay. And I really thought the Young Bucks were gonna win, and then uh, it was that match where the person that goes through the last spot is gonna like it's usually how ladder matches go, but like the one that doesn't incapacitate the move that doesn't incapacitate you is going to be the last move you see, that's going to be the person who wins. So when Brodito did their shit, and then he ran the shout out to Brody King, Van Nuys California's own, and he's in a really cool tag team with Bandito, who is also awesome. So
Yeah, like that parent came out of nowhere.
it
But it
works.
works. It works though. It works.
Yeah.
Bandito's great. Bandito's great, and Brody King is great. So shout out to them.
Yeah.
I,
Um,
I I enjoyed the match too. I mean, it's not hard to have it. The Young Bucks are made for these types of matches. They, for all intents and purposes, are like the blueprint for these types of matches. So it being a great match, not surprising. It setting up what it set up, also not surprising. You know what I'm saying? Also not surprising, and how they put those guys over in the right way. Like,
yeah.
yeah, it's great. It kind of, in my opinion, I wasn't surprised that they won, but it works though. All of it works. It works. It just works. And then you got the angle coming out of it.
Yeah. And you know, the match is over. The Young Bucks are there, like, damn, we lost. And I do like how the Young Bucks are making this gimmick work of these guys were assholes for like a year and change and shit, and they finally got their up. It's at All In,
Yep.
and now everybody's been shitting on them, but they won the $500,000 match, so they've been overly spending money. and they gambled and then made Nate again. And it's just interesting. But match is over. They're in the ring, and then you see the wrestling version of the James Harden Oklahoma City trade as a person. Uh, Jungle Boy
Oh
Jack
my
Perry
god.
coming, where this one decision completely has changed wrestling for the past 2.5 years. Jack Perry walks out and then attacks the Young Bucks. And the Young Bucks are about to attack him, and then instead of actually going through with the move, everything goes dark. And then a video package was made where you see Jack Perry revive Luchasaurus, and then Luchasaurus is right behind them, and they um, they reunite. For the first time in like almost 3 years is the first time
Yeah,
they've
that'd
been.
be 2 3 years at this point. You know
Yeah,
what? You know something that was kind of funny that I saw on the rewatch was he and it kind of gave it away that it was going to be them getting back together. Jungle Boy had the knife holster on his hip. He had the knife on his hip. Did you notice that?
yeah. I was just like, well, why don't you just use a fucking knife? Like, I don't
But
know why.
that is the Jungle Boy thing, right? That's a part of the Jungle Boy aesthetic. So that kind of gave it away.
Yeah, but
But I like Jungle Express, man. I like Jungle, like that music. It's at this point for AEW, for all intents and purposes, that music is nostalgic. Like this is AEW playing into their nostalgia. So, um, yeah, man, it was fun, man. It was dope. I don't it, it I didn't know exactly how to um I didn't know what Jungle Boy was doing at first because bearded Jungle Boy has kind of been an asshole the entire time, and the way he played what was happening with his face, you kind of didn't know what they were going for. But
yeah,
that kill switch shit is over. Luchasaurus is back. Jungle Boy, Jungle Boy Jack Perry's back. Um, it's sad that there's no more Marco, but such is life.
yeah. Marco, it's weird. Like, I do miss him. Like, you wouldn't think that. Like, um, you would miss. I'm trying to think. What was the Jurassic? The name of. I'm blanking on the name of the Jurassic Express song. What it's called? I've said it before. The
What? Tarzan Boy, Tarzan Boy, Tarzan Boy.
Tarzan, yeah, Tarzan boy. And then that was like, oh shit, this is great. Like, and it's weird how now people could just be nostalgic for 3 years ago, where
Yep.
where where COVID did so much to us, where we were like, damn, I really miss basketball from 5 years ago. I miss when I miss when you know LeBron played with Anthony Davis. Those are the days I miss. Like shit like that, where you're like,
Well, it's because it
"Ye-
feels like a goddamn decade has passed since then. That's why.
yeah. So
But nah, the
yeah,
fact that they have nostalgia that they can play into, the fact that Jungle Boy went on this and you're right, all of the shit about the punk of it all, that you're right, I don't really feel like getting into that. But the fact that he's been on this like excursion, being this asshole, went to other places, what was he calling himself? Like
uh,
exiled or some shit. What was he calling himself? He was calling
uh,
himself something. I
yeah,
forget exactly what it was. But him going on that excursion, coming back, being Jungle Boy again, like it's really dope that the company's been around that long that they have their own nostalgia that they can actually play into. Think about that, Drew. We got two originals who went their separate ways, and now they're reforming the team, and it got that type of reaction. Like that is kind of proof positive that this company has been success. Like when you can do that, that is the tenet of wrestling. You put a team together, they go their separate ways for a long time, and you play on the reunion. The reunion factor is always something that you can play on.
yeah. Like you don't think about it, but it is true. Like there's always a market for the reunion, which they're trying to do with the Acclaimed, but like that's not on the main story. Um, yeah, so that happens. That lovely moment happens, and what's the best thing you could do? We go backstage to where John Moxley and his merry group of white supremacists all gather around, and it's just like, man, that was crazy how we won the match, and Daniel Garcia's there for some reason, and they're just like, well, John, Darby's in this casket, so you got this, right? And he's just like, yeah, you guys can go. And so they all drive off and leave John Moxley to open up the casket. And Darby Allin is fully out of the casket and starts beating his ass with a pipe.
Yo,
And then
that is some of the stupid. I'm gonna be honest, like I gotta criticize anything that can't do great. That is some of the stupid, but I understand the staging of it, right? It staged that way because you need to get a one-on-one between Mox and Darby, and if it wasn't a one-on-one, you would never be able to believe that Darby could get the one up on Mox again. So I understand it, but from a like a intelligence perspective, why does he need y'all to leave and just leave him here to do this by like for what? What about this task would be made more efficient by having one motherfucker do it instead of seven? What about
exactly.
lugging around? Like it's just stupid. Like that didn't make no sense. But I understand why they did it to get us to the point that we got to. I just wish that they would have did something different. Like creatively, like make them wreck the car and have them all incapacitated so he can get the one-on-one with Moxley.
To be honest, Dame, you're on mute. I don't know if you know that, but
Yeah, I muted myself.
to be honest, what I would have done is I just would have done the Undertaker shit. He's not even in the casket. And then, but Darby comes out, puts John Moxley in the body bag that was in that casket, and then sets John Moxley on fire.
I just
And I'm
watched
like,
that compilation clip and I was like, fire.
and I'm just like, Darby saw at least like 200 dead bodies in the past couple months. So he's just like, death is not a big deal. I'm just gonna kill this guy. And everybody comes out and then starts spraying Moxley with the fire extinguisher and shit. And you're just like, oh, okay. I if they're setting up the Bruno match, cool. But we both know whose skin is going to be burning. But
Inferno match. Somebody's gonna get shot on live TV, dude. That's what they're setting up to. Where else can you go from there? Once you set somebody on fire, knowing Darby, he'll take a bullet. He'll take a bullet to the head on TV. Knowing Darby, he'll do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, like Darby's just like, oh yeah, no, I'll be out for like 3 or 4 weeks if you just shoot me in the head. Like Darby, that's not how science works. Please don't do this. But that leads into our main event. Kyle Fletcher, shout out to Penny.
This was the match, man. This was the match, arguably the match of the year. This was the match. But go ahead.
Yeah, they advanced Hangman Adam Page. Kyle Fletcher is such an interesting person because 2 years ago he looked like a fucking geek. Like he had a terrible haircut. He just looked like a nerd. Just dressed in all green, like one of Will Ospreay's goons. And now he looks like a full-fledged, like, sort of star. I mean, his tattoos are terrible, and his pink gear makes him look like a penis. But he looks good. Like he's taken all of the supplements, all of the vitamins or whatever the fuck you want to call them now, and he looks great.
You don't want to say the thing, right? You know, we all know what you want to say. Go ahead, say it.
What, the steroids?
Listen, also, how dare you call his pink outfit like penis colored? That is very much a Barbie pink. Okay, that is a bubblegum pop pink. Okay,
No.
that is a Pepto Bismol.
That is delightful.
If I do
Say,
so so myself.
yeah, it's because all the blood just rushes. Like he's just a big red mess.
No,
Like every
yeah,
match.
Oh,
he's red
that too. He's always super duper red, like Brock
because
Lesnar.
he's a big white dude. That's what they do. They get red. Like they can't help it.
No,
Just
no, 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 Crystal. It's because of
That too, but like
that's what it's about.
as as a person,
Have you seen Brock Lesnar and how red he
yes,
gets? It's because
yeah.
of them. Yep.
But I'm saying like also like as a person of pastiness myself,
that back knee doesn't come out of nowhere.
it is very easy to get bright red. But okay, I agree with you guys. Yeah, there's some other stuff, but I like his outfit. I like that it's bright pink. He's wearing like knee-high boots with it too. It's cute.
But
I don't know what his whole like gimmick is supposed to be, but it's fun to
he's
look
just an
at.
insane person.
Huh?
Like that he's just an insane person.
Oh, she's a crazy person. Well, I'm watching the highlights. Who did he fight in his pink outfit? Who's the other guy?
And Hangman Adam Page.
Okay.
Hangman Adam Page. It was a great match, actually. It
I
was a really, really good match.
no, it is. I'm watching the highlights and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
One of the things I just don't understand, and it's the Sami Zayn problem, where the finisher, the transitional move that he does is more devastating looking and cooler than the finisher. So with
Like
Hangman,
the move that he does. Because I just saw one that was pretty crazy and I'm like, maybe that's it.
is with Hangman, he does the buckshot lariat. That's his finisher, where he flips over the top rope and hits you with a clothesline. I
Okay.
think his finisher should be the dead, where he basically has somebody on their back and then drops them on their head because it looks more.
I just saw that one. It does look more devastating. Now I'm like, how is he not hurt?
Yeah, like that's the one that he should be. Like there's a wrestler, Sami Zayn. He has this thing called the Blue Thunder Bomb that looks better than his finisher. Is called the
Haluva
Haluva
kick.
Kick. So that's always one of the things I.
That's an interesting point of view. I think the reason why it's done that way is cause from structure wise, right? Deadeye set ups the buckshot because Deadeye gets them on the ground, and then he gets to go set up for the buckshot. So I understand what you're saying because the Deadeye, it is such a the way that what's happening to the person taking it, it looks like that is something that would incapacitate you. So I understand what you're
Yes.
saying. But
Yeah.
structurally, I'm not mad at it because we've gotten some really good buckshot, and Hangman does a really good buckshot Larry. So it's not like it doesn't also look like it could incapacitate somebody. But I understand what you're saying, though, for sure.
Of course. So we that match goes everywhere. Like the crowd is so into it. What did you said you liked the match, and what did you like about the match?
Yeah, I thought both guys like one they really worked hard, right? Always, it's like always, and then it got to a point where it's like to me for Kyle, this was like this match made him. Obviously, he lost, but he's made him a loss, right? Because he gets to a point with the crowd for where they're chanting, "You're not ready, you're not ready." And then you got Taz on commentary like, I reject that notion of saying somebody's not ready. Like, obviously he's ready. If he's in the company, he's ready. And then you got Brian going, well, he may be physically ready. He may be physically, but mentally he might not be there. That is another thing that made the match so amazing. Brian was losing his fucking mind on commentary to the point where he's getting up and he's yelling. I was like, yo, Brian made the match seem so much more like important. He made it seem like so much more believability and stuff like that. All of those things played into it. And it's just the work that they did. Like I can't remember like specific shit that they did, but the entire story that they told, Kyle trying to win it, Kyle being desperate, like all of that. It's just all of that, pretty much all of that stuff. Like it just was a really good match. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah. And Hangman comes out, and he is the top guy. Like, I would like to see Hangman win the belt as a heel once, because like the heel Hangman if he won the belt, that would be such an interesting dynamic. Because him
Yeah.
as a babyface winning the belt, it's cool, but like with Hangman, it's always about the chase. And
That's such an interesting. That's such an interesting. What do you want to see? What do you want to see next? What do you want to see next with for Hangman? Like, what do you want to see him work with next?
ultimately, like, I don't know. It would either be Takeshita or, I mean, it's be a couple more months before Swerve comes back, but they
Somebody got to
definitely,
lose. So somebody, it's people that have to lose, right? So like,
yeah,
who do you book him? Who do you book him with? Who do you book him with next? Like, because that's the interesting point of view. I think the guys that we would want to see him with, they're not on television right now. Like the
yeah,
person that's supposed to take that title off of him is Osprey. Like I feel like Osprey's supposed to take that title off of him. And
yeah. I mean,
Osprey's
that's the
not
reason why.
available.
Yeah, that's the pretty much the reason why Hangman won the Owen is because Osprey needed that neck surgery.
Yeah, so like it's to a point to where it's like, okay, so one, who do we want to see eventually take the title? Because that's what happens in AEW. Once somebody wins the belt, they're already booking who's going to take it off of them. Because structurally, you can actually. That's one of the fun parts about AEW. You don't have to like just dream that the person that's holding the title is eventually going to drop it. They're going to like it is an inevitability that they're going to drop it. So like, is it a situation where we get to Okada or like MJF back in the back? I don't think it's MJF. Like I don't think it's MJF.
It
So
can't be.
I think it might have to do a heel, but it's just like it might. I don't know. I don't think it's Takeshita though, because I think Takeshita is going to take that title off Okada, and maybe after Okada loses that, then they bump him up to the main and let him. I don't
Bring
know
back
how I feel about
bring
Don
back
Callis.
intergender bring back intergender wrestling. I'd love to see Hangman versus Megan Bayne.
Oh my god.
Like that would be the match.
The Megasis.
Megan
Speaking of, we didn't talk about this, but it has to be
Thundercard.
Willow, right? It has to be Willow, right? It has to be Willow that takes the title off Mercedes, right? It has to be,
Yes.
right? That
Is
has to
Story.
Willow
be,
is Willow Nightingale?
Yes.
yeah, Willow Nightingale.
Oh, she's adorable. I would love it.
Yeah, yeah. I think it has to be her, but I mean that's the only long reigning title holder now is Mercedes. Mercedes the only one. Mercedes the only one left, and Hangman just got the belt, so it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. But that's then. Well, what would you give this all out 2025 rating, Dan?
Probably like a B plus. This was really good. I felt like it was a really good show. The crowd wasn't great, but all of the matches were good to great. I don't think that there was like a bad match for real, aside from the Eddie Kingston match. And he was just coming back. We know why. So I felt like it was a really good card.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. What'd you think?
Yeah. I would give this. I mean, obviously, this is leaps and bounds better than WrestlePalooza, but yeah, I would give this 7 out of 10, 8. I wasn't really bored. There was just the wrestling is so intense with AEW that it's hard to get bored, if that makes sense.
I can see that just from the highlights I watched.
Yeah, it's
So,
such
the
a
balls to the walls there.
it's very intense. Like there's a because I said this during the review yesterday. I said, you ever just see people in matches where 10 years down the line they're like, well, I got to get neck surgery, and you see all the matches and you're like, okay, well, that's why. That's how I feel about AEW. Like anytime I see them wrestle, I'm just like, so who's not gonna have neck surgery? Like, because everyone there is gonna have neck or back surgery, and
Yeah,
I'm
no,
like,
I get
who's
what
the
you're
one that's not?
the person who doesn't is the standout because you're like, oh, either you got lucky or
Yeah.
The funny part about that is all is like as safe as WWE people wrestle, all of them are fucked up too. That's the crazy
yeah,
part. Everybody's fucked up. I think
we
with
got
AEW, less about neck surgery because I feel like everybody eventually needs neck surgery. More about concussions to me. I feel like
yeah,
AEW is more of a concussion heavy style.
Yeah.
yeah. That does they do seem because okay, Drew, didn't you tell me that like between the two major schools of wrestling, like American and Japanese, the Japanese hit a lot harder, correct?
Yeah, it's called Strong Style.
Right. So it feels like AEW leans a little more towards that, is what you guys were saying to me, instead of
Hmm.
the American.
Yeah,
Okay, so it leans a little more. Okay, that makes sense. But I mean, I've said this before, and you've not been here to see it, but like the wrestlers are doing insane things to their bodies. Like they're doing crazy work, and it feels like again, since I wasn't into this when I was a kid like you guys were, but as I came to as an adult, I can really appreciate that what they are doing is basically being actors and stunt people and professionals
yeah,
all in one. That's what they are. I mean, they're professionals at their job. You have to be a professional to do this shit and not hurt yourself horribly. And even that still
Yeah,
happens to some of them, because
yeah.
accidents. And so like it's just crazy to see this stuff get really popular right now. Because I know you guys have both been fans for a long time, but like right now, like in the current zeitgeist, as it were, wrestling is big. Like people are into it.
yeah.
That's
That's
another. That's another thing that I'd say is a thing that differentiates AEW from WWE. In WWE, there is a WWE style. They're
Yeah.
going to
mhm.
wrestle a certain way. There's going to be certain types of stories told, and
Yep.
that's what you're going to get. In AEW, you got luchadors, you got strong style, you got high flyers, you got brawlers, you got technicians, you got like it's a mishmash of everything. Then you got some people, the best of the best are able to kind of like have a menagerie of all of those styles. But like you
Right.
get different styles of wrestling, and then AEW, they were at the forefront in this recent era of wrestling in working in collaboration with other companies. So you'll get a Forbidden Door where they go and work with a New Japan. And now you got WWE following suit, and now they're in business with a Mexican promotion, and they're doing stuff with TNA and stuff like that. Like they do things like that. So to ensure that you're going to always get an influx and an infusion of something different on the card. And then whereas you get in WWE, if you do work with a different promotion, 9 times out of 10, uh, the WWE wrestlers are gonna just win. Like the TNA title is on a. Is it still on the WWE version?
Yes, Trick Williams.
Yeah, those titles are. I think the women's title is also on the WWE. Like they take all the titles. In AEW, there's a fair chance that the people from other promotions might win the matches, and if they don't win the matches, they're going to be featured in a way that makes them look so great that WWE is going to come calling. Uh, in example, Stephanie Van Kerr. Like, so that's the type. Like, Mercedes had a match with a person from a different company. They were like basically wrestling on the level, and she got a look from that company, and now she's the title holder. So like that's the difference between AEW and WWE. Like you get so many differences of styles and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's what. Yeah, like there's different types of wrestling, and that was something that was missing for 20 years when Vince McMahon bought out. When he bought out WCW and ECW, so that is something that is important to wrestling, and there's different types of wrestling. Like, I'm not tribalistic. I just love professional wrestling, so I am glad to work professional wrestling. Dame, thank you so much for coming on the pod. We really appreciate you coming on the
No
pod.
problem at all, man. No problem at all.
Do you have anywhere where people could reach you?
Hey, you just follow me on Twitter at DameFresh. I tweet about sports, wrestling, movies, TV shows, stuff like that, current events,
A
thoughts,
mishmash, if you will.
opinions. Yeah, yeah, a little bit every day.
Well, so it's weird doing the show without Penny because she just ends the show. And so I think I'm just going to do the same too.